straight men of Reddit, what's unattractive in a woman? Constant negativity. One of those people that just always has to find a flaw with everything. It's okay to like stuff. Liking stuff makes you more interesting. The complete and utter inability to manage their own finances. I've got enough to stress over in my own bank account. Even worse if they criticize you for being cheap because you're actually responsible with your money. Refusing to acknowledge someone else's perspective. When I'm on a first date, I don't mind leading the conversation, but I hate when I'm the only one asking questions. I'd love to learn about you, but I'd like to know you're also interested in getting to know me. Trying to make the man they're actually into jealous by being flirtatious with other men, so that the man they're actually into pays attention to them. After college and getting a job, the most unattractive quality I had to deal with was when a woman presses too hard to move in with you when it's too early in the relationship. I know you don't want to live with your parents anymore, but now it seems you are more interested in a relationship with my house, rather than me. To be fair, your house is super hot. Tells her friends everything. I had an ex that showed her friends nudes I'd sent her, then said friend messaged me about said nudes. It was like being in a relationship with an extra person. A princess attitude. Basically a mindset where a girl thinks they're entitled to certain things just because they feel you must treat them as a lady of high manner. My ex treated me horribly, and felt she had authority over me and treated me as if I was supposed to give her all my manners and give her whatever she asked for just because she's a woman. She took me for granted. If you're a B to me, I don't want anything to do with you. Respect others. Treat others the way you would want to be treated back. I freaking hated that attitude she had so much. An ex of mine was nice, and we hit it off fairly well, but she was scared of everything. At first, I didn't mind. I was supportive and tried to help her get over her fears, but I eventually started getting tired of it. Part of me still believes to this day that she isn't really a scaredy cat, but only used it to act cute and make me be the big supportive protector man. Just how quickly she'd switch from nervous wreck to doesn't even bother to check traffic before crossing just bothered me. I mean, what she was scared of ranged from lakes to rocking chairs to spooky nights when it's 4 in the afternoon in summer. Maybe I am a butthole, but I truly believe she would act scared whenever she wanted attention to get close. I don't know. I hope I wasn't being a jerk. Lack of passion for anything. Nothing is hotter than see a woman excited and interested in something. Jobs, hobbies, etc. I don't even have to like their interest, but they should have some. Physical abuse when your man doesn't do something you like. Punching, slapping, hitting. It's not okay for either gender involved, but I see a lot of women get a pass on this. My brother recently got out of a 3-year relationship because his GF beat the crap out of him and all he could do was cover himself and not hit back. Police were called because she was screaming so loudly and he was bleeding everywhere. And when they took them back to the station, it was the classic "what did he do to deserve this and you shouldn't press charges. It'll ruin her life and she was just emotional. Otherwise, just be a friendly person, stick to your values, and don't be an butthole." An unhealthy social media presence. An inability to hold a conversation. Expecting a man to bring their A game while the woman herself doesn't bring her own. Dating is a two-way street. Both people should be interested in trying to succeed at getting to know each other and making things work. Obviously sometimes they just don't, but at times I've experienced women who just expected me to do all the work, paying, giving attention, compliments, time, etc. I'm luckily happily married, and my wife brings her A game to the table every day. Trying to be the damsel in distress and acting gullible and dumb. Playing hard to get. Sorry not sorry, I'm not going to spend time trying to fulfill the fantasy you have of being chased. Women who make the relationship their hobby. Being in a relationship is fun and requires time and attention. Absolutely. But it's not the only thing in the world. I can recall several relationships over the years where women would constantly call me at work and want to monopolize 100% of my time. I remember so many of them being hurt or angry when I explained to them that I have other hobbies and pursuits that don't include them. So men are threatened by things like video games or guys' nights out, etc. I mean, it's not like I spend a lot of time on either of those things. A few hours a week. Maybe there are just so many people that seem to have nothing else going on their lives, so they turn their relationships into their hobbies. I was really happy when I met my wife. She had her own career, her own interests and hobbies. Even to this day, we spend plenty of time together, but there are days where we go do our own thing. It's nice not to have to entertain someone constantly. I've found this is really common, and the only solution is to refuse to answer the phone at work, refuse to give up boys' night out, because if you cave and lose those things, then your hobby becomes the relationship too. Then you're both boring people, and there's plenty of boring girls who, ironically, refuse to date boring guys. I get my memes from Facebook. Expecting me to constantly take care of you and be there for you when you're upset, and not doing the same for me when I need someone to be there for me. Same thing that's unattractive in a man. Cruelty, meanness, bullying attitude, manipulative, poor hygiene, stupidity they're determined to hang on to by any means necessary. My friend dumped a girl who was bad at wiping her ass. Like skids in the pant is bad, he said. I didn't know how to bring it up, so I lied about how my life was too complicated right now. Women who confuse being strong with being a bee. No, you're not a strong woman or boss or whatever. You're just not nice. You're mean. And I freaking love strong women. Having no empathy. Not being willing to contribute halfway in the relationship, whether it's chores or in disputes. If we have problems, we should work on them together. I'm too willing to compromise in most cases, and someone who takes advantage of that will find the door very soon. Also, an inability to be silly. Love should be wine and roses, but also memes and fart jokes. Smells like corn chips. Unwarranted arrogance or unnecessary narcissism. Like, yeah, you're hot, but definitely not hot enough to have that kind of attitude. Ladies like that can frick right off. Nobody is hot enough to have that attitude. I don't give a crap how hot you are. If you're a terrible person, I'll get up and leave mid-date. Being on the phone all the dang time just looking at social media BS. Having no passion, drive, or dreams. When they don't find you attractive. Ego. Don't get me wrong, I love women who have self-esteem. However, some women act like we can't live without them. That drives me away from that woman instantly. Feeding into situations rather than steering the narrative. For example, embarrassing things happen during relationships. Our bodies can be pretty disgusting. Our secrets haunt us. Our assumptions back us into corners. If you're willing to face situations head on and proactively deal with them, great. If you collapse into a heap of reactive emotions, not so great. Crappy mopey attitudes. Constantly bringing up high school times despite being 30. I get it. You partied a lot and were super popular. That's clearly over with now. Lies. This one took me a while to really grasp the magnitude of. Who does your girl lie to? How does she lie? Does she lie about small things? Does she tell you how she lies to other people? I only started asking myself these questions after a bad breakup where it had become clear that she had been lying to me all along, and convincing herself of them in the process. When I learned the truth, I looked back and saw how pervasive these lies were, even going back to our very first meeting, and how easily I wrote them off or forgave her for them. Now things like that set off red alerts in my mind. There is no such thing as a little white lie. Bad hygiene. I like some overweight chicks, even ugly chicks, but if you smell, I am out. A woman who is angry all the time. Disloyalty and being fake. Too much makeup and orange face white neck syndrome. A husband. If she is a dong to people for no real reason. Sorry to any ladies who have this look, but the super dark tan, especially with the platinum blonde hair, but doesn't look good with any hair color emo. Baby talk. Being dramatic. And yes, I've had enough of this. Drama is a dramatic thing to say. Fake nails. They are pointy and I fear for my eyes. I fear for my dong. It depends from guy to guy. From my perspective, someone who really likes attention all the time, I definitely need space. Honestly, I just don't like people who spend a lot of time on social media. And I mean that as they are constantly posting selfies and obsess over people they follow that they don't know. Those who get offended at everything. Like the ones who have a victim complex and go out of their way to try to get offended. As someone who has a bit less of a filter than he'd like, these types are basically a nightmare scenario to me. Dated a girl who frequently brought up ways to change my appearance. Tattoos, piercings, hair dye, etc. Not cool. If she's stuck up and thinks she's better than other people. You've been visited by a dog. It's a regular dog but he's a good boy. If you comment pet 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 he'll let you pet him. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.